for the snow to fall. It doesn't really feel like Christmas at all. Still waiting for the snow to fall. It doesn't really feel like Christmas at all.
Welcome back to Up Early with LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. I do have a guest coming on. Marcus Harvin is coming on in a few minutes. He's running late. Just send me a message. So he'll be on to talk about Newhallville fresh starts. But I can get us started talking about fresh starts. Marcus Harvin is a justice impacted person who came through, I think, the Yale Prison Initiative. He got his undergraduate degree at the University of New Haven while incarcerated. And it's a joint higher education program between, I guess, Yale and University of New Haven, I think maybe one other school. And so he came to that program. But I know him because we are law schools. We are 1Ls together at Western New England Law School. So it's really great that he's coming on because he's got an event coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And he is let's see, he's got this event coming up called Reimagine, an interactive and contemporary art exhibit pairing system surviving and thriving artists with system surviving artists, rappers, with painters, poets, with photographers, etc. So from 5 to 10 at Delana's, which is Nolo over there on State Street, from 5 to 10 p.m. So my plan is to be there tomorrow and see how all this plays out. You know, I love a good art program, you know, anything that's got art. And I saw some of the folks who are going to be part of this reimagining. My dear friend and Sora's husband, Dulio, will be there doing his art. You know, he's an artist, primarily graffiti, but he does a lot of different mediums. So I'm looking forward to having Marcus on this morning to talk about all this, what he's got going on, and all the stuff. I know that Newhallville Fresh Starts has been feeding veterans. I mean, like every day, like hundreds of veterans through their food program that they do, and it is something to see. And I know it's no easy feat to sort of keep up this kind of work. They just started another program where kids in foster care, they get kids in shelter. I'm sorry, kids who are in shelters, if they have a birthday, he runs them a birthday cake. You know, because we don't think about their entire families in shelters, because they are housing impacted. You know, they are unhoused, and so he has been busy doing that kind of work. You know, so they are doing a lot. So they are feeding veterans. They are connecting justice impacted folks to resources. So they are really out here in these streets in Newhallville. I think they run out of Pitch Chapel, which is in Newhallville. They run up out of there. um, feeding folks, and they just launched uh, a collab with pizzas, getting pizzas to folks. So he's busy. He's doing a great many things, and I think he's walking into the room now. So uh, and we listen. He and I, we are not strangers to being up early. We get to Western New England law school every damn day with no problems. Good morning. Unmute yourself.
Good morning.
It is nice to see you. I know we up early.
Yeah, look. See, you said it. I had to rep it. My head is still stuck in my freaking head and schedule. I can't, man. I keep thinking about torts, Civ Pro, lawyering skills. The only thing I didn't think about is academic success because it ain't. Yo, man. I like it's gonna be 3 weeks of break, but probably like 3 minutes to be honest, because I
I
ain't
know.
gonna.
I know. It's like when you go on vacation, Marcus. That first couple of days, you don't feel like you're on vacation. You still feel
Yeah.
like hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we really relax, we be like, oh, we gotta go back.
It's time again. It's the first weekend of the semester, which ain't a week.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
How's the New Haven Fresh Starts doing?
Good. That's part of what I was doing just now is still arranging stuff like you and I always have to do. It's a pleasure, a privilege to be able to do it, but it's also a big responsibility in trying to do an event while trying to keep everything else going is hard.
And the
But
event is tomorrow. Reimagine is tomorrow.
yeah, you see my hat? I try to do a little bit of branding,
I love it. So tell me
advertising.
what was the catalyst for this? Like what were you thinking? Like how did you get this brain in you? How did you get this in your brain?
Um, the catalyst for it is the stuff you and I talk about in the car all the time. It's about being examples of like what could become of somebody that had a slip up, a mess up, a mishap, uh, a failure, felonies, all of these different things. It's a way to strip away all those things. Like to me, a background check for somebody when they go for a job is like one of the most detrimental instrumentalities used in professionalism, right? Because it judges someone on what they used to be opposed to who they're interviewed and saw as right now. So reimagine is not a background check, it's an interview of right now, right? It allows it's a resume or whatever right now to the collective imagination of what excellence that's ostracized could be if granted an opportunity. So I've used whatever influence I've gained over the time I've been home, the past 3 years, with all different sectors of society to pull them together in this one space and have these people who have these gifts and these dreams and these hopes uh, to put them on full display in front of these eyes and within these ears that have, that are attached to hands that could just sign one document and change their lives, right? Their
Mhm.
destinies.
And this is artist driven. Like you've got
Yeah.
artists and photographers and all kinds of mixed media folks, rappers. I mean, all kinds of artists in one space, showing off their talent.
Yeah, it was the beautiful thing is the question you asked about how it is running the organization. I was just uh responding to a photographer who is putting some of her portraits in with my brother, who's a rapper, Bugatti 203, putting it in a set with him. So she was just asking a few last minute questions. And we're supposed to have a videographer from Mass. It'll be funny if she's from Western New England. I don't know exactly where she's from yet, but it looks like Western New England just won't leave us alone, huh?
So before you got on, I was telling people you came through. You got your education through you just graduated from University of New Haven through the Yale what is that, the Yale Prison Education Collective, what is it called?
Yale Prison Education Initiative. The funny thing is, I did not graduate undergrad until we started law school. The day we started law school was when my degree was conferred. I started the Yale Prison Education Initiative in 2021 when I was in McDougal, and I was a part of the viral graduation in the summer of 2023. Some months after you and I met, when we met at Yale Law for our fellowship, I was still a sophomore in college. I didn't even have my associates yet. But thanks to Professor Foreman and Kayla Vincent, they gave me a chance, right? They took a chance on me. And going back to Reimagine, that's what it is. It's me taking a chance on people that I might have heard 30 seconds of their music, might have seen one portrait they had, or just had one conversation knowing that they love what they do. To me, I don't have to see the product that you produce. I can just hear and see the passion that makes you produce it and know it's worthy of being saw. And that's what it is. And speaking of University of New Haven, my former math tutor is one of the people helping out in the event. My former history professor is one of the people helping out in the event, and he also delivers food for us 2 to 3 days a week. And now my old math tutor, after the work her and I have done in the classroom and now in the community, she helped me to spearhead a cake baking program for shelter residents called Cakes.
I talked about that.
Yeah.
I don't think I framed it. I just said that you started this commitment to bring cakes to folks, primarily children, I imagine, in shelters so that they could have a birthday celebration. Is that accurate?
You know me, I like to throw monkey wrenches and everything. At first, I think her idea and her daughter's idea was to do it on like a smaller basis at first, 4 kids at one facility. I said, no, we feed every facility in the city. So we're going to give cakes to every person in the facilities in this city. So it's for children and adults. We
Okay,
brought
good.
a cake to a 50 some odd year old lady the other day at a shelter. And she's somebody near and dear to me. I got like a little candor with her. So it was a pleasure to bring it. And yeah, so we started off with her being my math tutor, kept talking about what I do in the community, and she fell in love, brought it home to her family. Her and her 12-year-old daughter decided they wanted to join forces with us by way of their expertise in baking and their love for it. And now it's making more time for them to spend with each other. And I envision it doing it for other mothers and daughters and fathers and sons and daughters, whoever. I got even the former chief of legal services unit for the office of the chief public defender for Connecticut. She wants to be a baker now. Uh, And the funny thing is, hopefully she watches this show. She doesn't realize when I was in McDougal, she personally visited me uh, to assure me that I would be assigned a competent appellate attorney after all of the things I went through in my criminal trial. So it's just like life is coming super full circle where this person who assured me that she'd make sure I was advocated for is now going to help me in my interventions advocating for the underserved. And
So,
she
so
doesn't
tell
even know.
tell us how long you served in Connecticut. Connecticut.
Yeah. I served 6 years in the Connecticut Department of Corrections. 95% of it was in McDougal Correctional Institution. I like to
And
say
how
the
old were you?
address. I was 27 when I went to 1153 East Street, Southfield, Connecticut, 06080. I hate that place. That's why I remember it so much. But I love the people in there. So,
Mhm.
and a lot like thank you for asking that question. Again, the guy that is the pseudo headliner of the show, because everybody's a headliner in it, the guy that was on Ann Nyberg with me, Nyrone Gully G. Hutton, was my cellmate for a year and a half when we were in McDougal. He was serving 55 years for a murder that wasn't even really a murder. Uh, and they knew that, but they couldn't stick him So they stuck him with murder. And God stuck me in the cell with him. And now Nyrone's been home for 2 years. I helped him develop notes. The same notes I hand wrote were thrown into his appellate brief, and his case got overturned on direct appeal.
I love that.
Yeah.
So Marcus, what do you want people to know? I mean, because we're both justice impacted. I serve federal time, you serve state time, and people have this idea of those of us who have come through the carceral system. What do you want people to truly know about people behind bars?
Uh, Prisons are sadly warehouses for people, but as they're warehousing people, inside of those people is something called excellence, and it's concentrated excellence. It's concentrated excellence. It's concentrated frustration in there. So you see a lot of frustrated excellence, right? A lot of frustrated ambition because it has not been afforded opportunity. But there's people that can paint probably better than Van Gogh, that can make music better than Mozart, but they were not afforded the resources and opportunities and chances and even favorable looks as those individuals were. And I believe that you are the very embodiment of what reentry is, right? Recovery could be for somebody who had an issue or just opportunity. Look at you. You were in a prison cell before. You're all over everywhere. It's like you cannot hold somebody down, right? And I believe prison people who were in there or who are in there have something in them that just cannot be withheld, right? Like they can't be, it's things can't be withheld from somebody in there. Like you learn some fight, you learn some resolve that the world can't teach you. And if anyone sees anyone that has done time that they see a semblance of gift, I'll challenge them to give them an opportunity. They'll work harder than they've ever seen somebody work. They'll do things with less help than they've ever seen anybody do it with. They'll do it with less tools. Like I seen guys fix TVs with fingernail clippers. I seen them make baked macaroni and cheese in a box that tissue goes in. I've seen them make rib tips out of hot beef sausage. We've had Chinese dinners, like from a Chinese restaurant. We've had turkey dinners for Thanksgiving. Shout out to my boy Chase who just came home recently, who received his freedom. My brother, he used to cook for us. Man, we'd have freaking soul food dinners. So it's like so much creativity in there. There's so much excellence in there. There's kings in there's queens in there. They just not have been apprised to their royalty. They have not been given an opportunity to show their greatness. And that's why we go back to what reimagine is, right? Nyrone was serving a life sentence, but he'll be heard by the community at large soon. And they'll realize he's not a murderer, he's a musician.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
I love this. Okay, so we're both 1Ls. How's it going? How did you we committed we did one semester. How was
yeah,
it?
I feel so proud of us, proud of myself, proud of you because when we met, this was a conversation. When we met, this conversation got overwhelming. Looking at the stuff on those projectors on those Saturdays, giving up our weekends and dealing with Ryan Warren for those LSAT groups and in the one-on-ones and the coaching sessions. Listen, man, I'm proud of you and I, man. We figured out how to do law school with our busy schedules. People like Shanae and people like Ahmad who have full-time jobs, people like Ty, like like just showing that, man, if you want to do something, you're literally gonna make time. I believe we go proverbially to heaven in prayer every day, reach our hands up to the one that makes time, and we add hours to the 24. There's no way that we get all this stuff done. But I believe we make excuse makers and complainers look crazy, right? But we make dreamers see that they're not crazy. We make dreamers see that it's possible. So that's how I feel about law school. I feel like it's an opportunity, it's a blessing. It's a way for me to turn it's God, it's my Romans 8:28. All things working together for the good. I love God. God knows that. Now he's going to show the world through my JD and through my representation of the underserved and through the things you do. Like, I want to thank Access on behalf of all of us that I just named, and even Anna, right? And Danny. Like, in Western New England, man, we got a family there. We have a family in a law school. It's collegial where it's supposed to be competitive. Like, I love everything about Western New England,
Yes.
including that I get to ride up there with you 4 days a week. We get to traverse traffic 4 days a week, but we have deep conversation. And before I'm done, I wanted to tell your listeners this, what I told my wife the other day. You and I have been for 4 months. We went 4 days a week up there. We never talked about your show. We never talked about how many viewers you have. We never talked about me coming up there. I never asked. We just talked as students. We're classmates. We're we're brother and sister. We're family. We're friends. We're everything but what we are when we leave that space, right? And that's what I love about the relationship you and I have built. And I love you. I want the world to know that.
Well, I love you too. It's my great joy, and you are the best study partner, the best, because you are inherently and intuitively smart, and you're quick. And listen, if I get through law school, it'll be because of you. pushing me.
You will.
And holding my hand, which is really nice.
Yeah,
so,
there we go.
So tomorrow's your event. Tomorrow's the event. What time does it start?
It's from 5 to 10. The cocktail hour starts at 5. We're gonna do a free champagne toast. The bar will be operative. It ain't open though. The drinks ain't on us. But it's gonna be like a art museum to start off with, then the show, then we'll have an intermission. But the coolest part after the performances is something I believe hasn't been done before. You've been to a lot of events, but we'll have a networking / create your own keepsake event where we have little canvases for each of the guests to paint on. And we have little pottery machines for you to come and make your own pottery. You leave with your own keepsake from the event. So we make an artist.
Can you still get tickets? Because my producer's like, I gotta go. But how do people get the information to get tickets? Because this is not free.
No, tickets are $25 on Eventbrite. They're $28.52 after taxes. All proceeds go to the nonprofit and our continued mission.
I just want to make sure. So the event is called Reimagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be at Nolo. Elena's at Nolo's, which is on State Street.
687. Yep.
And they've got parking. So there you go. And tickets are for sale. And there's time for people to get tickets. Go to their site. And it starts tomorrow. So I hope people come out.
And it's a black tie affair. Come look good for a good cause. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Marcus, for getting up early and hanging out with me this morning. You got to come back and chop it up some more.
Definitely. It was a pleasure. I love you.
So much.
Thank you.
Love you too.
All right.
All right, Harry Droz, I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow, you good people. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see y'all. We'll be up early tomorrow. Thanks, Marcus. We'll keep trying.